Hi there. Welcome to Coder School's pre-work assignment for blockchain in Go. So before you are accepted into a class, we ask you to do a small assignment. Luckily for you, it's not too difficult, and I'll walk you through most of the steps today in this short video for getting your pre-work done. So you might be seeing this instruction page. This will kind of walk you through all the different steps that you need. And the first step is, of course, to set up Go. Once you've done that, and once you've cloned or Git repo onto your machine, you might be looking at a file like this. This is blockchain.go. So there are two files that you've cloned, blockchain.go and blockchain-test.go. And the way to make sure that things are working correctly and that Go is set up is to run go test. Now, you'll see a whole bunch of errors, but that's a good thing. That means things are working. And for this pre-work assignment, we'll just kind of go over each of these things in a test-driven development fashion. So if you've installed the Go extension for Visual Code, you can go here and type in Go. You'll have some really nice integrations. The first of which is you can hit run test on an individual test. So here I ran this first thing called test block, and we get an error saying new blockchain should have length 1, but has length 0. So let's just go through this file and fix each test one at a time. So let's open up blockchain.go, and this init blockchain is what we're trying to fix. So here on line 26, I've included a debug statement. So spew is a package that helps you print out structs to the console. I just installed that so you can see what it was like on the console, but we won't use that right now. So init blockchain, what are the things we have to do? So we want to create what's called our Genesis block. So let's make a new block called Genesis block. And here we can just do a block. Do a block, a struct literal. Data, we'll say Genesis block. Template time.now.unix. And for hashes, we'll leave them as empty byte arrays. And let's see, what am I doing wrong? Oh, sorry, I have a typo here. And now we'll add it to our blockchain. So on line 14, we have a global blockchain variable, slice. And we'll just do just those two lines. We'll make a new block function, or we'll initialize a new block and assign it to the first element of our blockchain. You can run test block. And now you see that our test passed. Now we could have done one extra thing here, actually. Maybe it's better to set our hash correctly. That won't affect how this test passes or fails, because our test doesn't check to make sure the blocks are valid, but it's still good practice. Now you may be wondering where this calculate hash function comes from. It's just at the bottom of this file on line 45. And all that function does is combine the different elements of our block and hash them together. We'll be using more of that in our next function, which is new block. So if I run the test now, I get a few different errors saying new block should have data, it should have certain hash, and certain previous hash. So what we'll do here is a lot similar to what we just did for init blockchain. So block. Here data is our data. We'll do the same thing here where we set the hash. From the block. We do have an error here. Did I make the same typo? I forgot to put a comma here. All right, there's that block here. Let's run that test again. So test new block. Okay, it almost worked, but we forgot to do one thing here. So because in our Genesis block, you're the first block and there's no previous block. So there's no previous hash. But in this case, we do want a previous hash. So set that equals block. And then let's run the test again. Let's actually put it here. Oh, sorry, I should know about that. And that should succeed. Oh, our hash looks incorrect. What's wrong here? So actually I made an error here where the hash takes in all the elements of this block, including the previous hash. So one thing I need to do is calculate the hash after all the elements have been set. So now we can run the test. And our test should pass. Now the only remaining tasks are to add an invalid block and a valid block. I'll leave these add block functions to you, the student, to figure out on your own. But if you ever have any questions, of course, you can always ask Coder School for help. We're reachable on Gitter. So you can reach us here at gitter.im/coderschool/prework at any time. Also, I'd highly recommend, if you're new to Go, which many people are, there's the tour of Go. It's linked in the instructions, but you can also go there by tour.golane.org. And it's a really helpful interactive tool to learn more about Go and syntax. In particular, you might want to look at the structs lesson and maybe slices, because that's what we're using for our blockchain. Thanks for your time and good luck on the rest of the pre-work assignment.